Hey friends, I'm back with more information for you from the info that I got from Straight Outta Context Barb. Thank you, Barb, so much. First off, though, before we get into that, I want to read you guys some stuff from Gypsy's book to show you why this is significant. Okay, Gypsy says here in My Time to Stand that on March 12th, 2015, I dressed up in a Cinderella costume and a tiara to accompany Mom as the live action film version of Cinderella. We were regulars at the movie theater in Springfield, greeted by the staff. I was double dosed on Oxy to help with my period cramps. My diaper felt sticky against the flammable polyester. The damn diaper was riding up on me, and I felt like I needed a change. I looked around eagerly, wishing I didn't feel so gross because my Prince Charming was literally going to appear as planned any second. So very specific on the date, and also that date has been documented in the case investigation multiple times, March 12th, 2015. Gypsy describes the whole movie theater experience and the sex or non-sex, whatever you want to call it, with Nick in the stall. But then the next part I want to talk about is she's talking about her and DeeDee going out to the van after the movie was over. And here's what she says about that, friends. Gypsy says, DeeDee said, "Are you trying to kill me? You know I'm not well, Gypsy. I swear if I die, it will be you who killed me. You already tried to shoot me once." Gypsy says, "I didn't purposely try to kill you with the BBs, Mama. I was trying to leave." Then Gypsy says, "When we got back home, she took the handles off my wheelchair, signaling that she would be pushing me to my destination. Her cadence was pointed and determined as she marched me not up the wheelchair ramp to the front door, but around the house and into the backyard. Mama, what is going on? I'm sorry, Mama. I'm sorry. I'll be good. Say that you're a liar and you take me for a fool. You think you're just going to run off this boy now? Or fool me once." Gypsy says she walked us past the bald patch of the grass where the cursed mason jar was buried and brought me to the shed. She says that Habitat for Humanity painted the shed to look like a playhouse, a miniature version of their house for Gypsy. Gypsy says, "Except I never went out there. For one thing, my mother never let me outside. There was never a moment during the day when Mama would ever say, 'Let's go outside and get some sun on our face.' Never. Second, I'm afraid of bugs, and bugs were everywhere in the shed. The shed might have looked like a mini house, but the inside floor was made of dirt, where there were slugs and fire ants and worse, spiders lived." Okay, we've seen pictures of the shed and the crime scene evidence. No, it had a floor and one of those indoor-outdoor carpets, a red and black color. So she says DeeDee took her out to the shed. So she pushed me in the shed and said, "Get out of the chair." She said, "I transferred myself out of the chair as if my legs didn't really work. I placed myself on the ground among the big black garbage bags full of shoplifted garments, tears spilling onto the dirt." Gypsy talks about crying and being afraid that she was too close to that cursed mason jar, and said that DeeDee slammed the door and she said, "Mama, don't just leave me here. Mama, the spiders." And there were only angry clinks of the padlock, and she was thirsty, freezing, and scared, most desperate she'd ever felt. And DeeDee's pills were all the way in the house. She said she worried whether or not bugs would crawl in her mouth without her CPAP machine on. And then she talks about having a dream that Christy was actually her mom, not DeeDee at all. Okay, so that's a very vivid memory of March 12th. She says in the book that DeeDee didn't let her out of the shed until around noon the next day because she didn't get up early. Now, let me show you what I found, friends. Okay, so like I said, thanks to Straight Outta Context Barb, we were able to screenshots from one of Gypsy's old Facebook accounts, Emma Rose, from things from before the murder. And like I said, Gypsy says that as of March 12th, 2015, after their Cinderella deal, she was locked in that shed with the bugs and the freezing cold, no way out. But look, friends. Okay, so right here on March 13th, 2015, so that's going to be after 12 a.m. midnight on March 12th, after the movie, Gypsy posts, "Best night ever, heart." And then we check the timestamp on that post. It's Friday, March 13th at 2:49 a.m. So they went to see the movie on the 12th. DeeDee supposedly locked her in the shed the evening of the 12th. After midnight at 2:49 a.m., we've got Gypsy posting, "Best night ever, hurt." How would she have access to do that out there in the shed, locked up in the dirt floor that didn't exist? And then she posts again, March 13th, "Wonderful night, heart." And that one was at 3:31 PM. So that would have been after the time that she said in her book that DeeDee let her out of the shed. But what do y'all think, friends? Do you think if she was actually locked up in that shed, freezing in the non existent dirt floor with the spiders and bugs, How in the world and would she be posting most wonderful night ever and liking Nick's comments on Facebook? What do y'all think, friends? Let me know in the comments. I know this is a short video, but there's just a lot of information coming out right now, and I wanted to get some of it out. Oh, and by the way, let me show y'all something else real quick. This isn't significant to our date timelines, but I just thought it was interesting that Nick was posting Northern Lights to Gypsy. What do y'all think, friends? For all of you VC Andrews fans who have been following my theorizing on the storylines that Gypsy might have stolen from VC Andrews Ruby, well, we know now that she is a VC Andrews fan. Listen to this, friends. She says, just watched If There Be Thorns, the third movie in the Flowers in the Attic series. Damn, that was trippy. The brother and sister couple, couple, are now like in their 40s, and their son, with their mother's husband, has gone loony from learning the family's deep, dark secrets that his mom married her own brother, and his father is his grandpa's husband, and his grandma had married her own uncle and had kids. Super incestuous family, lol. Nick says, it's interesting to say the least, dear hurt. Jip says, yep, next Sunday, Seeds of Yesterday, the final TV movie in the series. It's one interesting show. So, just by that, friends, we know that she was consuming VC Andrews content. I suspect that we're going to eventually find out that she was a Ruby aficionado. Okay, here's another crazy thing I found. Remember how I was saying that something wild happened in April 2015 because Gypsy hardly talks about it. There's hardly any documentation of it. And the only videos we've really seen so far from that time was Gypsy doing a goodbye to Master Victor video and Nick being distraught. However, we know that Gypsy sent that goodbye video on April 17th, and Nick sent the two distraught ones on April 18th. And DeeDee filled out a police report on April 18th, same time, saying that $56 of her cash and some generic Xanax and generic Oxy were stolen. I suspect personally, friends, that Gypsy snuck out, tried to go to Dan again. He was wishy-washy to like get the pills, but like still send her back home. And that devastated Nick, and there was drama about it. That's my suspicion. But however, as I'm searching through this information to try and see what exactly happened in that time period, look what I found. So this would be 16 days before DeeDee reported her Xanax stolen. Jip posted, so I was able to convince my mom to go the all-natural route for her anxiety. So instead of Xanax, she's trying holy basil leaf. Smile. Nick says, good job, baby. Daddy is proud of you. Jip says, thank you, darling. Heart. I bought me some all-natural calming oils as well, hun. Heart. Nick says, that's my woman. Heart. Smile. And she says, wink. Heart. So yeah, very interesting. Right before she apparently stole her pills, Jip was bragging about getting her mom to try something different. And we've talked on this channel and plenty of other channels about the kind of trauma that DeeDee went through. I just don't know who Jip thinks she is trying to change someone's prescriptions. And we saw that that's the thing about her that has never changed. While she was in prison, she was constantly trying to control the health of everyone that she talked to. It's wild. And we thought DeeDee did that to her, Munchausen by proxy. Jip was trying to make DeeDee not take her meds. Now, here's a really wild one that I posted in the community tab. I have been certain for quite some time that Jib took a large amount of inspiration from Interview with a Vampire and Claudia because she's jealous of it, because she said in a prison email that DeeDee was an extra in that. And while that's not proven, my gut feeling is that that's probably true. And that's probably why Jip is so obsessed with it. She wants to be DeeDee. Yeah, she posted here in April 2015, if anyone wants to know how my personality is like, example, Claudia. I did this scene at like 5 years old, lol. Crazy, friends. So what do y'all think? Let me know in the comments. I hope everybody's having a good day. There's a lot of information coming at all of us right now, and there's new people coming in to the Gypstein files. Welcome, welcome. We got plenty of info to check out, so stay around. And everyone, let me know what you think in the comments. We'll go out with a little palate cleanser. Hope y'all are having a good day.
Keep making content.
What do you think about the new Claudia and the videos coming out?
Well, I hope they all come out soon.
You're hopeful for them to come out?
Yeah, I want all of them to come out.
Gypsy's not worried?
No, not at all.
Okay.
I think that it's important for everyone to see everything.